Do you wonder about past lives? Have you ever thought about where your soul has been, where it's going, or what lessons and memories have been gathered along the way? In this podcast, we will discuss past life memories, psychic phenomena, energy healing, and other metaphysical topics with experts and the average person to find out how we can heal through these experiences. So I invite you to join me on my journey. Welcome to the Regression Session. Now I can sit back into just normal Ian instead of podcaster Ian, who does drugs now.
That was very brave of you.
I know, right? Welcome back to the Regression Session. After all these years, by years I mean months, been gone dealing with some personal issues. I'm probably going to make an episode to talk about it eventually. But I am back. Believe it or not, I actually have a ton of content coming your guys' way. I'm recording, as of right now, I'm going to be recording at least 6 episodes over the next week or so. So look forward to that. I'm still keeping to the bi-weekly schedule from now on. I think that I can make that work with my really crappy work schedule and everything that's going on there, which is part of the reason why I haven't been uploading. I don't know, I feel like I owe you guys some kind of an explanation, but this week we're going to be having a return guest. Well, guests, in fact. Anne and Renata from the True Hauntings podcast and Frightfully Good Productions. They're fabulous. I had so much fun at the time of my freaking life talking to them. If you haven't checked them out already after this episode, definitely head on over to True Hauntings Podcast and all of their wonderful, wonderful websites and content creation accounts where you can follow them and have an awesome laugh and learn a lot about ghost hunting and things like that. So the title of this episode is Why Are Demons Everywhere? And I don't necessarily believe that, and neither do Anne and Renata, but it's an important question to ask when looking at ghost hunting. And the reason is because if you watch a lot of ghost hunting content, including just average audience-sized YouTubers, right? You're going to be seeing demons, a demon hit me, a demon did this, blah, blah, blah. There's so many demons everywhere. So why is that? And we actually cover that. Now, I do have to give a little bit of a disclosure before we go into this. We cover a lot of topics within this episode, and one of those topics is drug use. I am not an advocate for drug use, especially in children, but we do talk about it, and we do talk about using drugs in a recreational way. So if that's a problem for you, feel free to skip over that. I do encourage you to listen to the episode, though, because it can open your mind a little bit about demons and about other things that we talk about. But like I said, it's kind of eclectic. We go all over the place. Big thanks to Anne and Renata for coming on the show again. And without further ado, we'll get right into it. Here is my conversation with Anne and Renata. So welcome back to the Regression Session, Anne and Renata. I'm so happy to have you back. I've been looking forward to it.
I can't believe you got us back again.
Like that I was willing to have you back, or that you guys were willing to come on.
Oh, no, we're always willing to come on. We love talking to people.
So I can't believe that we agreed to come back on your show, Ian.
Normally, when people get us back a second time, it's to apologize for the first time. So
I should have brought my lawyer. No, I had a lot of fun talking to you guys the very first time I talked to you. And then,
We had a lot in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot in common.
And we were
which is
surprised.
good, yeah.
I remember coming off the interview going, wow, there was so much we had in common.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're like totally not the same, but like, you guys are ghost hunters and I'm all about like reincarnation and past lives and stuff. Oh, I had like a weird, like some crazy, I've been getting haunted at my work lately. I don't know if you guys would want to hear about that.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's like a side note. So I went to the first thing, I was kind of like, wow, dick, like to the ghost, right? Because I had a donut that my coworker had given to me. I put it on a drinking fountain and then I was picking something up and then I turned and then it was literally like maybe 1 second and there was nobody around me. I turned around and my donut was soaked. So somebody had pressed the drinking fountain button to soak my donut. And I was like, really? Really?
Yeah, no, don't muck with food. No, that's not on.
Right?
Let's eradicate that
I was like,
one.
really, dick? And then the second thing that happened was it was like a 3 days or 4 days in a row. So the first day was last Sunday, and I was just walking down the hall. I have to go in on the weekends to do security checks to make sure the building's secure. And so I was alone in the building, and I just kept hearing footsteps behind me, and then like all the hackles were up, And I eventually turned around and was like, stop following me. Then the second day on Monday, I was mopping a floor and I got touched. It's the first time I've ever been touched. I got touched right in the middle of my shoulder blades.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around. It was so casual, just like a little poke. I thought one of my crew came up to get me, and I turned around and nobody was there. And I was like, what? And then I started like moving my shirt to see if like, hey, maybe I like moved the fabric on my shirt. Nope, there was nothing hanging around. And I was like, nope, I definitely got touched. And then the third day, I was cleaning some sinks, and I was just cleaning them, and then I left them on while I was cleaning them, and then one of them at the very end just shut off by itself, and I thought like maybe it's water pressure that did it, but I walked over and the lever had been actually pushed down, so it shut off by itself, and I was alone in the building when this happened, so I was just like, ooh.
Someone's trying to get your attention.
Yeah, seriously. Yes. And then I thought I heard a voice. I can't verify that I heard a voice because I was moving something. I was dragging something across the floor, but it really sounded like a voice. And I was like, I got out of there pretty quick. I was like, oh, yikes, I'm out of here. So I've been getting haunted.
Very interesting.
Oh, I wonder who it is and what they're trying to tell you.
I know that they are. I feel like they are trying to get a hold of me, though, because I do have a little bit of the psychic medium sort of esque.
So why aren't you listening? That's the question.
Lack of time. That's it. Lack of time.
They're going to annoy you until you listen.
Yeah. Look, if I was you, I'd probably just go and have a medical check, because often they will come through when they're trying to just alert you to your own health. And so if you are really super busy, it's like going, before you burn out and before you're not here in a quiet moment when I can actually reach out to you and get you to understand that I am here for you. Can you just stop for a moment and just look after yourself? So it may just be a little bit of a tap to go, I know you're working really hard. I know you're super busy, but this is the only time I have to let you know that I'm here, and I want to get your attention because I need you to know to just go and do a bit of a checkup, see whether you're all okay.
Interesting. I'll have to do that. For real.
And it could be something simple like high blood pressure or, not sleeping properly, and, a few things that just need to just be revised by a medical practitioner that can help you out. We had a case where we went to a home where there was a haunting happening, and without going deeply into the story, this particular spirit was literally making someone wake up in the middle of the night. They had very, very bad sleep apnea, and this was going to really impact on their health. And when this person went and got checked out, he was told that he's had the worst sleep apnea that this particular medical practitioner had ever seen in his life. And it was going to really make him terribly unhealthy. So this particular spirit was actually warning him and going, hey, you're actually almost dying in your sleep. I'm waking you back up so that you can come back into reality, that we don't lose you. Go get this thing sorted out.
That's so interesting.
Mm.
I've had, like, it's so crazy because I've had weird stuff like that with hypnosis, where people have said that they're channeling like past lives and stuff that have come through, and similar things like that have happened. It's so interesting how there's so much crossover that not very many people, I think, connect to those two things. And that's why I'm so glad to have you guys back, because it's just like there is a lot of crossover.
There is.
Nobody's talking about it.
Well, I mean, through our perspective, there is. Other people would look at that and say, oh, you've got a demon that's following you and you need to get exorcised. So,
yeah. And it's funny. We often, and when people come on our events, they're actually blown away at how funny we make things. We joke with our spirits. We give them scenarios that are funny. We give them a hard time.
Renata's latest thing at the moment is when we're doing spirit box sessions is to say, can you give me $20? I need $20. Can you give it to me? And it works.
The conversation is crazy. It is so funny because you'll get them saying no. Or, please, I really need it. I need to buy some food or something or other. And
last night you were buying cows.
I was buying cows. Yeah. It was appropriate scenario. I wanted to buy some cows. And I know you chimed in with something, and they actually said to her, nobody asked you.
Yeah.
So
twice. I tried to speak up and I got told twice. Nobody asked you.
And
they can't hear because we use the Estes method where they're just calling out what they hear through the spirit box and they can't hear the question. So the fact that was happening was funny, but they did offer you 3 cows too.
They did.
How kind.
I know, right?
Usually in my experience, if spirits are doing that, or like, what's the best way to kind of frame this? So I do this thing called spirit rescue, right? Mm-hmm. So when we go into hypnosis and we try to reach a past life, if someone's gone through their past lives a lot and they've done a lot of past life work, sometimes they'll start channeling a spirit, but you won't know until you say, I always ask, is this John's past life or are you someone else? And if it's their past life, they're like, oh yeah, I was totally John's past life. But if it's not, they'll say, no, I'm not John's past life. I'm like, well, what do you need? Right. And so we call that spirit rescue kind of on this side of the fence. And it's typically when spirits are coming to me, it's to get help. Mm-hmm. Cause we had this kind of a conversation last time where we were talking about like, what are ghosts? And to me, a lot of it, what I think it is like fractioned off pieces of people's spirits, right? Like, I don't think it's like a full conscious entity for the most part. I think that's quite rare. But for me, it's like these little pieces are looking for help to get out of a bad loop or like a bad situation that they're trapped in, and then they're coming for help. So what are your thoughts on that? And it's like, it could be maybe that I need to go get checked, but it could be that they need help. I don't know. I'm not an expert. What do you think?
It could. And I guess from that point of view, what you would have to do is ask them while you have that connection and go, look, if you need help, can you show me a sign? Can you turn that tap on again, for example, or poke me again or whatever, so that you can get an idea of which way it's supposed to go. And we have had issues where spirit has come through, but they are often the ones that say, I need help. So they are calling out, I need help or help me. In which case Anne is always saying, we're always willing to help you. We kind of, in those scenarios where we get the connection, especially in a public place, we don't signal that first because it's, from our point of view, it's inappropriate to do that in a very public scenario unless the spirit is asking for help.
Yep.
If we do seance work where we have a small group of people, 4 or 5, and they all know each other, often they're all family members or friends, and there is someone that comes through that requires help, we will do more of an intense work there. It's the right scenario. But when you have people who don't know each other, for example, last night we had 15 people in a space that really didn't know each other. We needed all of them to be very, very comfortable for all the energies to blend enough for spirit to do any work at all. So we always keep it nice and light, and we keep the conversation nice and light. Often because people see things on TV and they see a certain scenario being presented, they're under the assumption that that's what they're going to come up against when they come on a tour. And again, these people aren't experienced in these particular scenarios either. So they will go to the standard question of, what's your name? Why are you here? And how did you die? And we sort of always say to them, can you ask something that's got a little bit more emotion attached to it? You know, do you miss your family, for example? Or are you with someone else? Is there someone there with you? Or, you know, what else? What other questions would we ask them?
When we're in the jail, I'll say things like, was your mother proud of you, or were they embarrassed by what you did, which would evoke some sort of emotion. Because how many times can a spirit be asked, what's your name? How old are you? How did you die? I would just switch off and not bother. But in regards to the help thing, I have a sort of a rule, because when we're working with guests on a tour, if they hear the word help come through, they actually get quite agitated. They get worried and they're like, oh, they need help. They need help. And I always say, I'm always happy to help you, but can you tell me your name? And this is my way of engaging to see if I've got an intelligent response coming from the other side, or is that actually a residual help, an echo from the past with no intelligence behind it whatsoever? It's just an echo coming back. So if they give me the name, then I will pursue it further and I'll say, how can I help you? Would you like me to say a prayer for you? You tell me what you need, and I try to dig down. And we have done, probably in the time we've been doing tours together, which is about 7 years, I've probably done about 3 rescues in front of public, and it's been profound.
It's been profound. Everybody walks away having this moment of like, wow. Yeah.
At this point in the recording, I had some serious technical difficulties, and I had to end the call, restart my computer, get back on the call, and then we picked up from a different point. So that's why there's a weird cut here. Thanks for listening. That was way too cool of a conversation. I'll just deal with it. I'll just say, hey, something went down. A ghost was out to get me. He's not trying to warn me or help me. He's trying to attack me and demonically possess me.
Oh, that'll
You've
get
got
them
3
in.
scratches for sure.
That'll get them in.
Yeah, demons sell, you know?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Don't they just?
That's a good topic, that one.
It is. That's actually like the number 1 thing, or actually the number 2 thing I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about demons and possession?
Love them. Love it. Love it.
We suck at it. We're not good ghost hunters because we don't find demons. So we're really crappy ghost hunters, Renata. We actually got told by someone that we need to watch Ghost Adventures to learn some pointers on how to be better ghost hunters.
You know, if I watched Ghost Adventures and I learned how to be a ghost hunter from there, the first thing I would do every single time I walked into any haunted building is I'd be like, you like hitting women? Hit me!
Oh, yeah, you sounded really weird. I like it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But look, in relation to demons, it is a bias. It is what you have been taught. It is how you've been raised. It is your religion, your ideology. It is what you've watched on TV, on Hollywood. And as you said, demons sell. So if you want good ratings, if you want to have a good following on YouTube, you need to find demons because that's what people want to see.
I am also interested in having a look at the proportion of ghost hunting shows that are have men as their main character who say there are demons, and women who say there are demons. I can guarantee you, without even looking at them, there are very few women who would actually go down the demon track.
Oh, Lorraine thinks there's demons.
She's going back a while. She's going back a bit. We're talking about people who are literally on social media and who have a social media.
Some in England.
Yeah, I'm still going to waver, and I'm going to say that maybe it's a man thing, and that's no, you know.
Are they the dragon of the modern day era, whereas sort of medieval times they would go off to fight a dragon to prove their masculinity?
That's right. And men now have to deal with a demon. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, I nailed it.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is it this, because most of the viewing population is female. Let's face it. With the big names, they are all men. They usually have a female standing in the background somewhere just for balance.
Except for Amy and Adam. Yeah. They're 50-50. I like that.
But in many cases, there is a female present somewhere. She often doesn't have a lot to say, or she's a medium. It's the fairy tale thing of the 21st century where men, to claim their masculinity, have to go and fight the demonic. Yeah. Nuts.
I think we need to write an article on that. I think that's a really good topic.
I think we're really making a breakthrough here, guys.
Ooh.
There's brains behind these grey roots.
Yeah. Look, I'd love to hear what your listeners have to say about that, because it's a really interesting concept to think about. Yeah, because we know that over the last 12 to 24 months, there has been a huge shift towards having that as the main theme of a lot of these shows. We're going in to find the demons here, and we're going to get rid of that.
They're everywhere. They are absolutely. We are infested.
Oh yes,
it's
like never before. And we, as I said, we suck as ghost hunters because we can't find them.
No. Australia must be clean. It's a clean place, people. Come to Australia. There are no demons.
It's you guys probably just need better glasses.
Yeah, that's right. I need to clean them. Obviously, that smudge that's on my glasses is demonic. It's not just the bagel and butter I had for lunch.
But, we can laugh about this now, but when you are in that situation, what is happening behind the scenes with the people doing these recordings? Do they come in with that concept of we're here to find a demon? So, I mean, whatever you're looking for, you're going to find. That's kind of the way the psyche works. And so they will find something. Is it something that the producers say, this is the way this show is structured, so you must find something?
Well, who's going to watch a show where you don't capture anything?
Well, that's right.
It'd be boring.
That's exactly right.
That's what we're putting out. That's why we've got 150 viewers on our channel. We put up videos of what we call our misadventures, because every time we go out to try and do something, there's so many things that go wrong. And we share that aspect of it as well as the ghost hunting aspect.
Yeah.
And we have a very small, loyal group. Well, I mean, they're not that small. We've got 5,300 followers on YouTube, and they very loyally love our misadventures and the mishaps and the peanut Reese's Buttercup things that we keep stashing away trying to eat. We've got some here. Yeah, there they are.
Reese's, if you'd like to be sponsors, we're cool with that.
Hey, there you go. That would be a sweet
We keep it real.
sponsor.
Anyway.
That would be.
Yeah. So we just keep it real.
To them. Yeah. So, we break most of the stereotypical molds anyway, because number one, we're female. Number two, we're over the age of 25.
And we're frumpy.
Number three, there are more bits of us than normally should be in existence. And
we're not mediums, we're extra larges.
They're not always in the same place at the same time. And, so there you go. We're already something that isn't social media worthy in that thing of, okay, you guys are beautiful and your presence is just enough and you will draw in the crowds because of.
And I mean, we used to have big boobs, but they're down around our ankles now, so that's no good.
And yeah.
Well, here's the thing you have to ask yourselves though, is like, do you want to be wildly popular, or do you want to be honest? And
honest.
We want to be wildly popular and honest, if that is possible.
But it doesn't sell. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it doesn't.
People want to be scared. People don't want to see what's actually going on. And I think what I would like to know personally, and I already have basically the answer that I know, or that I think I have the answer already anyway, is what actually the percentage is of like demons coming into our homes and stuff like that versus like mental illness or psychosis or whatever. And like not even just possession, but all these people that claim to find demons, how much, like, they're probably almost all of them faking it anyway.
Don't know if they're faking it or whether they're they attribute every single little thing, because they're so hyper vigilant that they attribute that to what must be a demonic presence. So that's because that's what they've been taught on television, or that's what they've been taught in church. It must be demonic. So therefore, anything, if you lose your car keys, the demon took it. And there's also the whole thing about the spiritual bypassing. So rather than saying, you know what, I made a bad decision there, I shouldn't have said what I said, you say, that was the demonic influence that made me say that. That wasn't me. And you don't accept responsibility for your behavior or actions.
Ooh.
Man, I wish I could do that.
The spiritualist movement, the new ageism.
I think we're going to get hate mail again.
I was told like I was farting around with Facebook ads for my podcast at one point, and you know, to get your target audience that you're trying to like zero in on, you have to shoot at everybody and then kind of narrow it down. And I got like all these older folks coming at me saying your reincarnation isn't real and it's a lie from the devil.
Yeah.
And it's you're a worshiper of sight and you're a worker of evil. I was like, dude, did you not read my podcast? Is literally about like healing your soul. Like,
doesn't matter.
No, I'm evil.
See that bit. Yep. They didn't see that bit, and this is where I go back to saying, if you're looking for something in particular, you will always find it, because you will keep looking, and your brain will say, "That's what I want to see."
Yep.
And that's what I'm looking for. And therefore, if you don't see that, whether it is a description in a podcast or a vlog or whatever, you're going to see it. We have someone that comes on, he's come on twice now on our tarot Thursday nights. We have a Thursday night 1 hour where we do free tarot card readings, and he's come on twice, and he's tried to say exactly the same thing, that, you know, people are paying us money. It's
we're ripping people off for our free tarot show.
It's a free night, but people are paying us money, and it's all demonic and it's all, you know, rubbish and all of this sort of stuff.
Oh, we've been called so many names, haven't we?
And we're kind of going, why are you here? Why are you wasting your time here? Are you trying to prove something? Because it's not going to work on us.
No,
Sorry.
we just laugh. Well, like we actually had some that called us elderly lesbians. We're best friends. We both got husbands, so we were called elderly lesbians. There was another one that called us agents of the Antichrist. So what we did is we had T-shirts made up that said elderly lesbians, agents of the Antichrist. They can't win against us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've also been called an agent of the Antichrist.
Oh, welcome to the family.
Thank you. Where can I get one of these
committee meeting?
That's all right.
Where can I get one of these elderly lesbian agent of the Antichrist?
We can make one up for you. It's all right.
I wear a triple X because I like a loose fit.
Okay. All right. We'll sort that out for you, Ian.
We have so many people that want those T-shirts now. I think we're going to have to put them out into production. I don't think T-Public's going to print them for us, though.
Oh, dear.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's a beautiful. I love it. The elderly lesbians, agents of the Antichrist.
I just hope they don't think that we're saying elderly lesbians are the agents of the Antichrist, because that's not what we're saying at all.
They could be.
Not us.
I have a question for you. What about when you?
I thought we were on a diet. You're eating Reese's peanut butter cups.
Can't eat it. They're in my face. Just put them away. If they're in my face, I've got to have one. Sorry. We're squirreled. We're terribly ADHD. We are. Absolutely.
It's okay.
Anyway, I have a question for you. What about when someone comes to you and you do spirit rescue? How many people do you find in those first instances when they sit down and talk to you that there is this overlap of mental health issues and the possibility that there is something else going on? When for you does it get to a point where you go, okay, I understand that this is a past life thing? Or is mental illness for you something that is part of the lived past life experience that has to also be healed?
That's kind of a complex question.
You've got 30 seconds.
And
go.
30. All right. Okay, so what I do think that mental illness has been in humanity for a long time. Like,
forever.
Yeah, forever. But
Yeah.
nobody talked about it. It was just like, hey, we don't talk about that. Shut up. You're a demon. We don't want to deal with this. We're going to chain you to the floor because we don't want you around because you're an inconvenience and a blemish on society. And it was gross and disgusting. And people didn't know how to deal with it back then. And as far as like looking into, like, if I'm working with someone who's like, I am dealing with crippling anxiety, right? And all of a sudden, when does that change from their own mental problem? Like, I'm dealing with anxiety, or this is a spirit that has come to me with anxiety, or whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't matter, because in my experience, if you as a person who is experiencing XYZ can help someone else, regardless of whether or not it's an actual spirit or if it's just a figment of their imagination, I do not care. Because if you, as a, let's just say, depressed person, if you can help another person get through their depression, then all of a sudden you know it's possible. So regardless for me whether or not it is a crossover of their own psyche making this situation up, or if it is an actual spirit coming in, I roll with the punches anyway. Simply because if you got to help every aspect of the person in order to help them out. Because like a huge part of what I'm working on right now is teaching people how to properly process emotion. Because in like school and when we're younger, and people forever have never been properly taught how to the proper way to process emotions. And so I'm trying to get qualified to go into schools to give talks on this, about how to properly process this. And this is my whole process, is to, regardless of whether or not, if it was like a spirit, my first move with the spirit would be, if they're experiencing anger or rage, right? Like if there was an enraged spirit, my first move would be like, okay, you need to release that and just get it all out. Like let the rage hit you like a freight train. And once we get that through your system, now we can move on to the next best thing. Even if after the rage there is sadness, okay? So now we've gone through the rage, we've gone through the anger and the hatred. Now we can move through the sadness, and then you just slowly move through these emotions. And that's the same exact thing that I would do with a spirit if we're doing a spirit rescue, or if I'm working with just a person with like anxiety management or weight loss hypnosis or whatever. It's all the same thing. You have to process these emotions, and people just don't know how. That's why if you look at, we live in like a sick society, right? This crippling loneliness, the depression, the anxiety, it's all symptoms of a deeper issue, which really is escapism and looking to hide or stuff down the emotions. And that's just what we've been taught. Like, I've seen jokes online on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube where everybody's like, LOL, haha, stuff it down, right? But it makes me physically ill. Looking at that, it makes me sick because, crossing over into like spirits and real life people, if a spirit's here, in my opinion, it's just like a little fragment of a person who hasn't resolved their emotional trauma that needs help to do so. If we can focus more on resolving our emotional trauma now, my theory is there would be less ghosts in the future because we would be resolving all of this emotional trauma and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That was
does that feel better?
a long-winded answer.
Good answer, though.
It's a really good answer because it kind of shows your belief and probably our belief that we would not label that as demonic. We would just kind of say this is that extract of that trauma. Person who is in trauma
there.
And if we can help them understand that trauma.
And you kind of have to use their language to uncover the trauma. You can't go and say, oh, well, you're using the wrong words. It's this word, that word. You use their language framework to dig down.
Yeah, and same thing with hypnosis. If someone finds themselves in like a car accident, it's kind of a scene. You're not going to be like, no, you're not. That's not where you are, right? You're not there. You're going to roll with it, Yeah. And like I said, I think that for the majority of people, like dark entities and demonic possession of things is just kind of a cop-out, like you said. Like the other night, I said something completely randomly rude to my wife, and I should have just been like, you know what? There's a demon here. And
easy.
It told me to do that. I should have done it.
Not your fault at all.
I think that it's like in a serious Ian moment, an actual cop-out.
We had a case just recently, 2 weeks ago, where we were called into a home where they believed that they were being haunted and they could not sleep. They had a bed out in the main living room area, a mattress. There was a particular room that they said all of this was being focused on. There were 6 children involved in the house. And when we arrived in the day, they were both sitting outside, traumatized. They were shaking, both of them.
They couldn't even look at us and talk. They were that upset.
And we went, okay, just stay there. And we'll go in and scope the house, have a look at what's going on in the house. And you learn a lot by going through people's homes. And one of the things as paranormal investigators we learn and we tell people is be observant, be very observant of what you are seeing, because it tells you a lot about the environment that you have just entered. And so we took time very, very quietly just to walk through the house and observe what was going on. And there were things in that home that struck us as not normal, shouldn't kind of be there. But we didn't say anything. We just went with the flow of what the conversation was and what they were saying were happening. And there was an interesting dynamic with the children where the children were all shut down, completely shut down. With children who ranged from the age of 9 to 4, none of them said a word while we were there. Absolutely not one word. You've got 6 children under the age of 9 not saying one word. That raises alarm bells and red flags. And so we kind of delved deeper into all of that and sat with one of the children who seemed to be the spokesperson for the others. And as we were talking to the mum was saying that particular child seems to be a focus point as well. And so, as you said, we had to use the words that they were describing was going on to help soothe that whole situation. And maybe when we walked away, we kind of thought, if we were not going into that home as ghost hunters, we may have dealt with that very, very differently, but it was not our position to do so. Now, there wasn't any domestic violence that we could see, or there wasn't anything towards the children that we could see. And so once again, it wasn't our position to go and
We've
create a
been making things
storyline.
up.
Yeah, create a storyline that may not have been happening, because we were only in that home for about an hour and a half. But we walked in with the idea, and we do that every time we walk into a home. How can we settle this down? How can we settle things and make things
And listen.
easier for the people that are there, who believe that they are in a situation of trauma or hurt? And so it's a very interesting thing to then turn around and go, we don't think that there is a demonic thing happening here. There are a few things that we can kind of tweak.
Maybe man-made things.
Yeah, and hopefully settle things down. And that's kind of when we walk away. I worry about these groups that spend weeks and weeks and weeks in people's homes, and they investigate, and they have cameras and all of these things that are interrupting the home life and the structure of what is going on. And they seem to...
For them, it's exciting. It's an exciting thing.
They seem to like enrage the whole situation, rather than saying, it's like the ambulance arriving. What do? You give them first aid. You don't go screaming and going, let's rip that
set fire to everything.
That Band-Aid off, and let's see what's really going on here. Let's keep scratching at it to see if it bleeds even more. You know, that's kind of not the task I think we should be doing. But then I'm old and stupid and a female. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but also they may not be happy with the explanation we give them, and they will keep going till they find a team that will come in and tell them the answers they want to hear.
That is true.
They get all their biases confirmed, and then they're happy as anything. And those ghost hunters obviously know what they're talking about, because they've confirmed exactly what we thought was going on.
Yep.
Can I hear a confirmation bias?
Oh, hello. Yes.
For 500, please.
Yeah.
First thing that went through my mind is like emotional trauma or abuse, but that's just kind of where my head's at. So
yeah, and
what are you gonna do?
There were a number of things there that were.
Obviously, we can't go into some of the specifics, but there were some rather large red flags that did alarm us, but no evidence of anything going on.
Yeah, so you can't get like child protective services involved at that point, because it's just it'd be completely
our
random,
imagination,
right?
And that's not going to help the ones that were there that we were trying to help.
Yeah, and the thing was, we are very lucky that we have a very close friend who works in those types of services. And the first thing we did when we got in the car was actually ring that person and say, hey, we've been in this environment. Do these things sound like red flags to you? And that person said, extremely. But again, it's a really difficult situation. And this is when we sit in the car and we go, how do other people do this? How do they handle going into homes like this and dealing with these situations in a way where you can walk out safely?
Yeah.
Because we needed to walk out of that house safely. We needed to protect the people that were there that we felt were targeted.
Didn't want to inflame the situation.
And, just roll with that. As you said, roll with it, roll with the story.
And then we sought advice on what to do from a professional afterwards. And basically we're doing everything we can anyway. So, yeah.
See, that's so fabulous. I really like that you guys are saying this. This is what I would like to hear from all
other
ghost
people.
Hunters.
That is right. Yes.
And I've talked to a few different ghost hunter crews too. There's this one around here called Paranosis. I don't know if you've ever heard of Paranosis, but they've actually, I guess they've been featured by our good buddy Zach a couple times.
Oh, yes.
They'll be famous
here
now.
in Utah. Yeah, so they have a few 100,000 followers, and I was like, hey, why don't you come on my show and we'll talk about exactly what I was talking to you guys about the first time, is like, what's the point besides just cheap thrills, right? And unfortunately, that's probably what it's about for most people, is just the cheap thrills. But I can seriously commend you guys for going in with this attitude of first aid first, thrills later kind of an attitude, right? It's something that I think is lacking in our society in general. Is like people just want to slap a Band-Aid on it and walk away. They don't want to deal with the deeper issues, because it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's voyeurism. We live in a voyeuristic society. A lot of the television shows that are on are about voyeurism. It's about watching other people's lives explode, and the greater the explosion, the more enjoyment that you seem to get out of it. It's very much back to the Roman times of the amphitheaters and the lions eating the Christians, which they never did, by the way. That's a big blowout too, isn't it? Did you know that Christians were never targeted in the Colosseum?
Everyone listen to the True Hauntings episode on the Colosseum and learn all about it.
Damn.
So that's a
Why would I even go?
That is a furphy. Oh, the lions did eat people, but it wasn't necessarily Christians.
It was everybody.
It was everybody.
Anybody.
Well, anybody that committed a crime. So, but this is the selling point. The selling point is drama. The selling point, and if we did a podcast or a live talking about exactly what happened, but ramping up the emotion with regard to that particular situation, we'd probably get a lot of hits because people would see themselves in those situations. They would have the expectation of drama and trauma.
But like again, that drama and trauma.
But we can't because, again, it's a private case and we don't do that. So, you are in between a rock and a hard place. If you reveal all the things that really happened to you, then, you're going to have 100,000 people on your YouTube channel.
I probably had a penny drop moment about 9 years ago when somebody messaged me. She'd been on one of our tours and she said, "Oh, I've got to get a REM pod. My friend's, I think she's got a demon in her house. I'm going to go and investigate." And I'm like, you've got to get a REM pod because you think your friend's got a demon in the house? Have you got any training? It suddenly dawned on me that they thought the gadgets were going to make them the ghost hunters. And that was going to, they were going to solve all the problems of the world because they've got a REM pod in their hand. That blew my mind.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it happens, and so,
where do we go from here?
I really want to talk about one particular thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I totally can't. I don't want to. I'll keep it very vague. So I've had a couple people over the past 4 months or so reach out to me. And I really do, for any of my listeners out there, I really do appreciate you guys reaching out to me and bouncing any thoughts off of me and all that stuff. And this might be a good opportunity to address this as well, because I've had it a few times. And people, speaking of the tools making you the ghost hunter or the tools making you the tradesman, right? I've had a few people reach out to me and they're like, "Hey, I just barely learned how to do this hypnosis thing." Right? I just picked it up. I grabbed a script offline, and now I'm a past life hypnosis practitioner. Right?
Oh dear.
And while yes, that's technically, I guess, if you've done it, you are right. If you have a REM pod, you can be a ghost hunter. If you know how to hypnotize someone, you can be a hypnotist. But the thing is have you practiced yet? What you need to do is you need to practice in controlled environments. First, you need to get the experience. And this goes out for people, before you can go out and mess with someone's head or get a demon out of somebody's house, you need to have the experience and the understanding of what you're actually doing. And you need to be doing it for the right reasons, too. If you're going into someone's house saying, "I'm going to get rid of this demon," and then you just go into their house and you're like, "Hey, bitch, come hit me. You like hitting women?
What you got?"
You like hitting women, right? So for those of you who have reached out to me, I would just, I would say be careful. Practice in a safe environment with someone who trusts you, someone who you trust. And before you start going out and working on strangers, because the truth is just because you've done it once, it doesn't mean you know what you're doing. And that goes if any of Anne and Renata's listeners, just make sure you've done your research before you go in trying to kick a demon's ass.
I always say you're only as good as your next worst experience, because
I like that.
It's all about practice.
About falling flat on your face and learning from it.
Yeah, and it's all about being able to, in that situation where something doesn't go right.
And you don't want to fall flat on your face when you've got a family that you're trying to help.
Absolutely.
That's the worst time to fall flat on your face.
That is just horrendous. It's horrendous. Yeah. Nor do you want to be someone that goes in and says, yes, I've come in here, I've cleansed this demon, $400, thank you very much.
And then you leave and it comes back.
Yeah.
Surprise!
But then it's another demon. It's not the same demon. It's a new one.
So that will cost you a bit more.
Yeah, and that's one thing that people don't talk about either, is like the failures. I haven't really talked much about it on my show of like my failures. I'll share one right now. This one woman, she reached out to me saying that she was having like super bad anxiety and she was having these terrible dreams, and she felt like it was because of her past life. I was like, great. I usually have people fill out an intake form saying, do you have any history of mental illness or what have you. I understand this is for quote unquote entertainment purposes only, because laws and stuff. And then so I take her through this entire experience, and luckily, like thank God, she was like, I feel so much happier and so much better after. But then she goes and she lays this bombshell on me, and she goes, yeah, a couple years ago I was actually diagnosed as a schizophrenic, and that was that could have been a huge liability for me. Luckily they had signed the waiver, but. These are the types of situations that people don't really think about when they go into these situations of like, I'm going to go
right.
and just do this. I'm going to jump head first into this. But what about like if there is a spirit and it follows you home, right? Mm-hmm. Or if someone leaves you and they feel like you messed with their head and they're having even more anxiety because you didn't handle a situation properly. Mm-hmm. It's all about understanding what you're doing, I think.
That's right. That's right. And that comes with experience and being in the business for many, many years and studying more than just one thing.
Yeah. And from different people, different viewpoints. Yeah. Get everybody's viewpoint.
Yeah.
But that's hard though, because what if I don't like what you're telling me?
Well, then you know that you've just learnt something.
I agree with you. I just there's nothing else to say. Like just educate yourselves. Educate yourselves. It's hard. Like sometimes I'm hard on my audience, but it's necessary.
And I think it's important to educate yourself with people who actually have qualifications is the wrong word.
Maybe life experience as well.
Yeah.
Greater life experience than we have.
Yeah. So I don't know what the word is, but I mean, Lloyd Auerbach, for example, is a psychologist and a degreed parapsychologist. Kieran O'Keefe is someone who I admire as well with his work, and he has a level of education, I suppose, is what you could say. It's not necessarily qualifications, but a level of education that is not just, I believe this with my whole heart and soul that this is why this happens, because that's just a belief. It's not actual studies and testing and life experience.
And that's and I'm going to throw.
Oh, here we go. I can feel it coming.
Here we go.
You ready?
And this is where Ed and Lorraine Warren fell into a particular category of ghost hunter.
Self-proclaimed.
They only went in with the thought that there were demons there to be vanquished. No case that I have come across that the Warrens actually took time in investigating did not have a demon there. They all had demons. So there may have been cases that they investigated which didn't, and so therefore you didn't hear about them or they didn't do them. It wasn't enough meat or substance there for them to further what they felt that they needed to further.
You mean they couldn't get a book deal out of it or movie
They
deal?
were very religious
was that my outside
people,
voice?
so they were
Allegedly.
probably looking at the religiosity of what they were doing and doing work for God, which is a great handle. We hear that a lot. You know, they're doing work for some entity that they believe that they are, here on earth to do. That's fine. And I guess in the end, we're not here for everyone. We're here for certain people. And as was said before, if we don't give people the information that they want to hear, again, you're wanting to look for something that you believe is there, eventually you'll find it. There will be someone out there who does tell them what they want to hear. And then I guess that's their part of their journey in this lifetime.
You just gotta get out of the echo chamber, I think. But I don't want to jump down that rabbit hole because then I'll start talking about how much I hate religion.
Oh,
and I can't go down.
That's another show, Ed. That's another show.
I know.
Let's do that. Let's do it.
Well,
I love it.
Okay, like how much we hate. I've told you guys. Well, why not? Why not? I'll just talk about it. So
it's not religion. It's not faith. Sorry, it's not faith and belief that I dislike. It's organized religion.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. It's the stuff that they have laid on over centuries.
You must do it this way
to control people and to demonize people. That is just horrendous. It's just.
And if you're not doing it their way,
it's just awful.
You're evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to come through me to get in touch with yourself. That's what bugs me about it. Like you can't just meditate and get in touch with yourself spiritually. You have to come through me and pay me money to do it. If you don't pay me the money, then you can just go screw off or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I hate that. So I had this crazy experience that I've not talked about. Because it's kind of sketchy here in the U.S. and probably everywhere, and I'll tell you guys. You guys will be the first ones to hear about it.
No one else is listening. It's okay.
No, it's only us.
Yeah, nobody.
It's all quiet.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple places in the U.S. where recreational marijuana is readily available and legal. Shocking. I know. I happen to travel to one of these places. Portland, Oregon is one of those examples of a city. And I may or may not have traveled to one of those cities called Portland and stayed there for my 5-year anniversary.
In your dream state. It was your dream state, yep.
Well, it led to a dream state. But so I went to Portland, Oregon, and I used to smoke like a lot of weed before, and it was a problem. I moved on. I've talked about this a little bit before, but I got to a point in my life now where I'm just kind of like, you know what, maybe I could try it again. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to smoke it because smoking, like the act of actually inhaling, scares me. Mm-hmm. So I would go for the edibles. So there was a dispensary literally a 2-minute walk from my hotel, and I was like, okay, let's just go check it out. No pressure. I walk in there, and they're like, hey, man, welcome in. It's Thirsty Thursday. Our drinks are half off. And I was like, oh, my God. And so they lead me to their drink section. I was like, so did these actually work? And they're like, oh, yeah, man, I mixed this with like a margarita, and I'll drink it. And I'll sip on it all night long. And I'm like, Jesus, okay, give me one. And it was like $2. It was insane. And I took it back to my hotel at like 10 o'clock at night. Okay. And it was really good. It was a really good drink. Okay.
We're going to Amsterdam. That's it, Renata.
There we are.
It was mango orange flavored, and that's like my favorite combo. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I ended up drinking 55 milligrams worth of THC. And that's like a shitload of THC, right?
You were flying.
Oh, man.
How many days later did you sleep?
Oh, I slept that night, but I
you?
was messed up from 10 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. But,
oh, wow.
But here's what happened is I was just chilling on the couch, and then I ended up eating an entire family-sized bag of corn chips, and that's when I realized, I was like, oh no.
Munchies.
I was like, oh, hey man, I'm in trouble, you know. And so then I got to the point where I was kind of like bricked out and I couldn't move. And I laid on my wife's lap and I was like, I'm not having fun. This isn't fun. I'm not having fun. And then it got worse, and I stood up and I hobbled over to the bed and I laid down, and then I have this habit of entering into like a trance state and channeling spirit guides.
Oh, your poor wife.
Oh, she wrote it all down. She was a champ.
Oh, that's good. I was going to ask her.
She wrote it all down. But I remember it, and like this ties into like getting in touch with your own spirituality, if you were wondering why I'm telling this story. So I was just like completely like balls high. I couldn't even, I did not mean for this to happen. I just wanted to chill and watch a show. I was just saying, I'm not having fun. I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. And I was laying there and I started having a bad trip, right? I started having like super bad anxiety. I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to have a seizure and you're going to have to call an ambulance. And then I was like, is there anything I could take to calm this down? And my wife was like, maybe black pepper. I think that's like a Native American antidote. So I was scouring the hotel room for black pepper, having an anxiety attack. I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And then I was like, I think I'm just going to get in the bed and lay down for a minute. I laid down and then I just completely bricked out. I couldn't even move my body. And at that point, that's when I was transcended into another realm, I guess. And I started speaking and I was like, oh, I understand what's happening now. And I was like, this isn't Ian, by the way. And I call myself in this state the vessel. So I start referring to myself as the vessel does this, the vessel, blah, blah, blah. And I said, here's what's happening. So when people get to this state, and I keep in mind, I could have been just off my ass, right? So yeah. I'm not in no way saying that I was connected to another plane at this point, but it's possible. And it makes a lot of sense if I was. But I was saying, like, so what happens is when you get to this state of what the vessel calls high, it's actually not that. This plant was meant to help people recalibrate. So you're not supposed to take this much very often in your life, but a few times in your life you're supposed to take, or you can take this amount of the plant to get to this point where you have no choice but to spend time in your different energy centers. So the chakra system or whatever you want to call it. And as you move through these different types of energy, if you have like a bad trip or whatever, it's because that type of energy is imbalanced. So I was going through from top to bottom because that's just how I was like seeing it. And the first 2 or 3 energy centers, which is like top of your head, forehead, and your throat, I was just having like a super bad trip. But then I started moving down. I was like, oh, I'm having a nice time now because I'm balanced in these areas. And I started like going off about how this is not supposed to be a normal thing and you're not supposed to get this messed up. Like people who get this messed up this like super often think they're spiritual, but they're actually just like mucking up their system. And it's like changing your car's oil every week or every day. It's just not necessary. And it was just this crazy weird experience. And then I started passing out and I don't really remember what I said. And I said a bunch of other crazy stuff. Maybe I'll publish it one day, but like, I'm not super comfortable talking about like recreational drug use, but that's what happened. Okay. And it was just this crazy weird, like I've never taken that much, first of all, but it's just so good. And I just drank it. And then,
and for $2, what therapy is that? That's wow.
That's America for you. You gotta hide your emotions. But I wasn't hiding from anything. I just wanted to relax, you know. And then they're like, we sip on this all night and we mix it with like vodka, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you live? But no, that's what happened. And so apparently, apparently like that's a thing. Like rebalancing your energy centers through that, and then getting in touch with that. And another thing that happened with religion is they cut out all these ceremonies that use these things in a spiritual way, and now they've all become party drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, such a long story, but you guys are the first to hear it. I was like really messed up.
Oh, well, we are honored.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank
we
you.
will put that in a safe container for you.
And we'll share it with hundreds or thousands of people.
Yeah. But I mean, I think some other people listening will be able to take something from that as well. I know that I was talking to my husband, researches alternate remedies for things all the time. And LSD can actually be used to help people who are having issues with their mental functioning, and but nobody will use it because it's one of those drugs that people go, oh, LSD, you shouldn't take that. You're just tripping balls. But in actual fact, there's medicinal purposes for it.
Yeah, and like mushrooms and psilocybin, things like that.
Not that we are promoting drug use.
No.
Here.
Yes. I do not promote drug use, especially in
not unsupervised
children.
Yes.
The thing is that we live in a very sanitized environment where we only have a small amount of the perception that we actually have about the world. And it does take trauma, or it does take some big event to shake us up. And I guess when you do decide to do something like that, you are actively choosing to be in that state because of what you're taking. There are other different states of being that are not your choice, but they will still shock you into that thing of, my God, there is so much there that I'm not even tapping into, that I'm not even working with, that I don't even understand. Our day-to-day life, in 95% of it, if not more, 98% of it, is just a rehash of the day we've had before, and then the day we've had before, and the day we've had before. We don't spend a lot of time in different areas, experiencing different things, allowing ourselves to work with our emotions. And so, anyone who sort of goes down the spiritual pathway is actually stepping out of their 98% routine and going, I do want to experience something else. I do want to try something more.
I'm looking for something more.
There must be something more than just this. That's when they start to learn that there is fulfillment outside of that 98% of stuff that they do on rewind. Yeah. Every single day.
Like outside of your career, outside of your material, achievements.
That's true.
Your material accomplishments. And I've met some seriously successful people, like multimillionaires, that are just sad people, and they're not in touch with their inner self. And that's really if I could break everything down that we've talked about, or any message that I've talked about with anybody, it would be, you're not going to be as fulfilled in your life if you don't know yourself as well as you could.
Yeah.
And that's going to prevent, if you know yourself and you are comfortable with yourself, it's going to prevent adverse reactions to things that you may have overreacted to or reacted poorly to in the past. And that's going to prevent fractions of yourself breaking off and becoming demons and possessing people and murdering people.
Oh, so round circle. Ed, you did that so well.
Thank you.
That was just, here we are.
I love how he wrapped that back up.
That was awesome.
I assume that was the end because you've sort of brought it full circle. You don't want to make a triangle out of it now.
Oh, we can't touch that. That was perfect. That was absolutely perfect.
Well, thank you. You know what? We have been talking for quite some time, even with the technical difficulties. So, Anne and Renata. So tell my audience what you got going on. So what, the podcast, the Ozparatech, I remember from last time.
Yeah.
Anything else, the radio show, all that stuff. Just lay it all out so people can find you and check you out.
All right. So our our podcast, which is like going great guns at the moment. We're getting about 5,000 to 6,000 downloads a week.
Thank you, America.
Yeah, thank you. America is our biggest
Australia.
audience, so thank you guys for your support. True Hauntings podcast on all your favorite podcasting apps. We've also got a radio show called Spooky Sundays, which is now also a podcast as well. We are doing some work with a comedian called Isaac Butterfield, and we've done some YouTube series on ghost hunting called The Devil's Advocate, and we're actually going to be doing a live show with him as well, coming up shortly, which hasn't actually been announced yet. So there you go. What else have we got, Renata? We've got Oz Paratech for Australian ghost hunting equipment. We've got Newcastle Ghost Tours. We've got, what's your tarot reading?
Tarot Queen. I do private tarot card readings, and we also do a live free every Thursday night on Anne and Renata Frightfully Good.
And we're actually going to this afternoon record an episode for the first time, and we'll see how it goes, of a new podcast, which will also go onto the podcasting platforms, but it will also go onto YouTube, called Diary of a Ghost Hunter.
That's so cool. I know it's going to be great. You guys do such fabulous work. And I'll check it out the second it's on
YouTube.
Spotify.
We forgot YouTube. Anne and Renata, Frightfully Good Ghost Grannies on YouTube. Please come and sign up. Please join us. We're desperate. Oh, we got called Ghost Grannies by Isaac, and it sort of stuck.
What was it? Elderly lesbians and agents of the Antichrist.
Yeah, that's us.
You guys should start a metal band.
I know, right? Fabulous.
Well, anybody who's listening, I'm going to try to get all the links to all that stuff and include it in the description. I'm sure you guys can provide me with that. And then I'm going to once again put you on the spot and say, do you have an additional message you would like to leave for my audience?
Yeah, subscribe to YouTube, please. No, something deep and meaningful, Renata.
Yeah, look, I would say follow Ian's work, because I think Ian is on the ball. He is doing the right thing for the right reasons. So, he's a guy in your neck of the woods. Follow him and listen to some of the stuff, all of the stuff that he puts out, because I reckon it's good stuff. So, yeah, go right ahead and follow this beautiful man, Ian Roth.
And I'm going to leave you with a message that we got given to us on one of our seance sessions, which is, hurt is wasted energy. To heal, realize your part in it. So that was given to us on one of our spelling out of words on the table. And there is no point in carrying on continuing to be hurt by something that's happened to you. Understand what has happened, learn from it, know that you may have had something to do with the situation that's happened. I'm not saying that you're to take the blame, but there is, we tend to bypass what it is when we're involved and we may have done something wrong. Accept you may have done something wrong. Let it go so you can start moving forward again.
That's the essence of what I'm trying to get across. So thank you so much. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for going down all those weird rabbit holes with me. I wanted to talk about tarot cards and oracle cards, but we just kind of jumped.
Oh, we'll have to come back again.
Yes, please. I've been looking for a tarot card reader, and all of them told me to get bent. They're like, "Oh, who do you think you are? I've got 10 million subscribers on YouTube." And I'm like, "Well, fine. I didn't watch you anyway."
Yeah. No,
I'd rather have you guys on anyway.
We've got 5,300 awesome people.
Perfect. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
That's it for today's episode. Huge thank you to Anne and Renata for coming on, and huge thank you to you guys. We as a community, as a show, have reached the top 10% of shared podcasts and followed podcasts. So we're getting there. We're in top 10%. I'm shooting for top 5 next year, and then top 1% the year after that, and then number 1, baby. If you have had a experience that you would like to share, or if you want to come on my show and share your knowledge about any metaphysical topic, shoot me an email. My email is theregressionsession@gmail.com, and I would absolutely love to have you on my show.
Can you see beyond your mind? Can you shed a light?
is your favorite hero?
It's actually not somebody who's in TV, books, media, or anything like that. It's the everyday person who manages to get out of bed every day and function and get on with their life, even though they're feeling like absolute poop. They get out of bed and they just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep on going. So they are the ones out there who are the heroes.
They are the heroes, yep.
So me, I'm your hero.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And me. And me. And her.
You guys are so practical. Everybody I've asked that, they're always like, Iron Man or Batman.
Xena, warrior princess. There we are.
You don't need to try so hard. Realize you're right where you need to be. You had it from the very start. Hidden in your heart, there's a remedy. Don't be sad, don't get stuck in the past. Don't try to force it, nothing will last. Nothing's real if it's not in this moment. Nothing's here if it's not now.
Huge thank you to Anne and Renata for coming on my show. If I could talk, coming on my show that I own. God damn.